student, in the previous video of the chapter 2nd history, socialism in Europe and the Russian revolutions, we discussed about the causes of the Russian revolution in the February and the October. In this video, we will discuss the changes that came after the October revolution in the Russia. There are many changes that took place after the Bolshevik gained power in the Russias. Most industries and the banks were nationalized in November 1970. The government took over their ownership and the management. Land was declared social property and the peasants seized the land of the nobles. It means किसानों को nobles की ज़मीन पे कब्जा करने की पूरी तरह से स्वतंत्रता दे दी गई. In cities, large houses were also partitions according to the family requirement. Means rest of their house is given to the needy people. They banned the old title of the aristocracies. New uniform for army and officials were also designed. The Bolshevik Party was also renamed as the Russian Communist Party. In November 1970, the Bolshevik conducted the election to the Constituent Assembly, but they failed to gain majority support. In January 1918, the Assembly rejected Bolshevik measure. Means Bolshevik के प्रस्तावों को Assembly ने reject कर दिया. So, Lenin dismissed the Assembly. Over the years, the Bolshevik became the only party to participate in the election to the All Russian Congress of the Soviets. That was the parliament of the country. So Russia became a one-party state. The trade unions were also kept under the control of the Bolshevik. The secret police that was known as the Ch-2 punished those who were criticized the Bolshevik party. Many young writers and artists favored the party because they thought that it stood for socialism and the change. But soon, many became disclaimers, means they are distracted by the party. When the party increased the censorship. When Stalin came into the power, he imposed a policy of the collectivization of agriculture. By 1927 to 1928, the towns in Soviet Russia were facing an acute problem of grain supplies. The government fixes prices at which grain must be sold, but the peasants refused to sell their grains at these prices. Stalin believed that the shortage was because the rich peasants and the traders were hoarding stocks in hope of higher prices. So in order to stop hoarding, party members were sent to grain producing area to supervise grain collection and raiding the kolkhas. Kolkhas were the rich peasants of the Russias. As shortage continued, the decision was taken to collectivize the farms. So from 1929, the party forced all peasants to cultivate on the kolkhos. Kolkhos was the name of the collective farming. The profit of the kolkhos was shared among peasants. The farmer whose land and equipment were taken over were angry और उन्होंने गुस्से में आके अपने ही जानवरों को खत्म करना शुरू कर दिया. So between 1929 to 1931, the number of cattle fell down by 1/3, and those who resist collectivizations were punished, and many were deported and exiled. Under pressure, Stalin's government allowed some independent cultivation, but treated such cultivators badly. In spite of the cultivation, agriculture production did not increase. Bad harvest of 1930 to 1933 led to the most devastating famine, in which over 4 million died. Many within the party and the country criticized collectivizations, but Stalin ने उनके ऊपर socialism के against साजिश करने का आरोप लगाया. So that's why around 2 million were put in prisons or labor camps, and many were also executed. The concept of socialism gained popularity across the world. In many countries, the communist parties were formed. The Bolshevik encouraged colonial people to follow their footsteps. Socialism received a global presence, means many people from outside the USSR participated in the Conference of the People of the East that held in 1920, and the Bolshevik formed the Comintern, and that was an international union of pro-Bolshevik socialist party. Some also received education in the USSR Communist University of the Workers of the East. But by 1950s, this form of governance started becoming unpopular because even though the country had developed, but it had denied the essential freedom of its citizens. And it also carried out the development projects through repressive policy. So socialist ideas were rethought around the world. Now, according to this, so in this chapter we know through the Russian Revolution, socialism became an important and powerful idea to shape society in the 20th century. Okay. Now, topic related these questions you have to do on your fair notebook.